Hey, hi and welcome back. In this session, let's see how you can install the virtual machines inside the Hyper-V node. So for that, before we even start it, we have to do some settings change. Like for example, I'm on the Hyper-V node. Search for Fellow Cluster Manager. Okay, so you can see here, this is a Fellow Cluster Manager, and you you connect with the cluster. So I have to connect to this particular cluster and scroll down. Click on that cluster name and scroll down. There is a cluster core resources and there is something called the Hyper-V single node. That's the name of the cluster. And if you see that IP address, if you click on that, so here you don't see the IP address assigned. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to assign one static IP. So let's give it 225. Click on apply and click on OK. So try to bring that online. Okay, so now I can see that. So the server name and IP address associated, it's online state. Okay. Okay, so now from the role section, virtual machines, new virtual machine. So we have to select this one. Okay. Okay, click on next and give it name like Windows 2019. So can store in this location, that should be fine, the default one. Generation 1 should be okay, and RAM you can view 2 GB. uh, and go for the next, and yeah, it's asking if you want to connect to the network, you can use this, that should be fine. Go next and give it the size around 30 GB should be okay. Next, and install the operating system. So here I'll do install the operating system later. Click on next because I have to copy the ISO, so you can see that. Click on finish. And similarly, let's create another virtual machine. Okay, okay, that's one should be fine because it says that it's not a path to the cluster because I don't have the virtual SAN configured, so it's created on the same Hyper-V node. It should be fine. Click on finish. And let's create another virtual machine and give it the name, use the same node, cluster node. Click on OK. So go for the next and let's give the name something like Ubuntu. Ubuntu inside Hyper-V. Go on next. Generation work next. 1 GB RAM should be fine. Next, and connect to the network. Next, and yeah, it should be something 30 GB should be fine. Click on next and install the operating system later. Click on next and finish. So I'm going to copy the ISO images onto this particular node, and then I'm going to, you know, so boot the. I'm going to install the operating system inside these virtual machines. Okay, so I have an ISO images on my local computer or my laptop, and I have to copy those things inside the Hyper-V node. The easy way I can do, I can enable the remote desktop, go to the server manager, there will be a remote desktop option. So it is disabled by default. So make it allow. So say OK. So now find out the IP address. So the IP address is this one. Let's try to connect. Okay, so it's good that I'm able to connect now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the control C of these two ISO images, and I'm going to place it on the desktop. Can create one folder here, like softwares. So it's going to take some time. So I will pass and come back. Okay, so we are back now. The software has been copied onto this machine, the ISO images. So let's boot with that particular ISO image. So right click on, so I am on the cluster manager. So on the roles, you can see the virtual machines. So right click and then you have a settings option and go to the D drive and select the image file location. It should be on the desktop software and 2019. Go OK and do the same for Ubuntu. So go for settings, TV drive, image location, and say OK. And try to rename this machine as Windows 2019 inside Hyper-V. So yeah, so let's power on these virtual machines. Okay, so I believe it has identified the ISO image and it's starting the boot process, installation process. Yeah, click on next here. It seems mouse is not working inside it. Let me do something here. Okay, so yeah, so I'm here. So now we are able to control. So let me tell you what actually I did here. So I have opened the Hyper-V manager. So if you click on the Hyper-V manager, so I click on that Hyper-V node, Hyper-V settings. You go to that enhanced session mode. There will be an option here. Choose enhanced session mode. You have to uncheck that. Click OK and then take a reboot once. So after that, you should be able to use the mouse pointer inside the console. Okay. So earlier I was not able to use the mouse pointer. So click on next, install. using the desktop experience. Click on next. So accept the license terms. So we are doing the install, not the upgrade. Okay, go for the next. Okay, so the installation is started. So it will take a while. So I will pass and come back. Okay, so you can see installation completed. It's asking for a password. Okay, so click on action, control delete. So that's it. So have created an Windows 2019 virtual machine inside the Hyperv. So we are going to take the backup of this virtual machine in our COM vault environment. So we'll see that later.